Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about the best quests to do in Bannerlord. So these are going to be my top 5. Some of them are going to be in order, but I am going to tell you what my best one is as well. Okay, my top 1. But before we start, go check out the first link in the description. It's a link to the most updated Bannerlord tips and guides playlist as of 2022. I'm going to try to keep it updated as the years roll by. But yeah, it's being updated a couple times a week with a lot of great videos, and there's some links in there as well for other playlists, so go check that out. I do appreciate it, and it will help you with various things in the game. But alrighty, let's do it. So I've made it my mission pretty much to do all the quests in Bannerlord. If you follow my channel, you see that I'm literally uploading all the mission and all the quests, pretty much walkthroughs of all the quests onto my channel. There's a playlist in my channel. You can find it. It's very easy to find, and I will link it down below as well. But yeah, I want to try every quest out and see how it works, and see which ones are good, which ones are bad, and report back. But after playing them now, I want to go over what I see as my pretty much top 5 quests in Bannerlord. These are going to be judged by 3 main factors: payout, time, and availability. So payout is what the quest gives you at the end, whether it is gold, reputation, or something else. Time being how much time do you spend for the payout. And availability is how often is this quest available for you to take. Alright, so now let's do my top 5. The first 4 I'm going to talk about, they're not really in any order. It really just depends how you play, your play style. Some of these might fall even out of your top 5 based on your play style. But overall, I think these are the top contenders. And then obviously my number 1 will be all the way at the end. Okay, so first quest we have is deliver the herd. So this quest is a common quest you can find in villages and towns, given to you by nobles. So for availability, it does pass. It's very easy to find. Now for the actual gameplay, all you have to do is take a good handful in the beginning of the game, or a couple of dozen farm animals, kind of like mid to late game, from one noble to the other. It's super simple. There's no battle needed, nothing really, no engagements needed. If you have enough troops, no one's going to bother you at all. The towns are actually not that far away usually. They're usually 3 to 4 towns away, which is really good. And it should take you no longer than 3 minutes. It's if you just one-shot it, if you just right-click from one place to another, you have a good amount of troops, literally 2-3 minutes, IRL time, and you're done. So for the time, this quest passes, and for the payout, you can expect a good couple of thousand. Usually in the 2,000 to 3,000 mark goes up as the time in your game goes up. But also you get reputation with the nobles, obviously, which I think is a very good payout for 3 minutes. So overall, quest very, very solid. It's good for the early game, good for the mid game, late game. Very solid, very easy. You can get it done super quick. Now, my second one. So this one, it's a little controversial, but I'm going to explain. So it's revenue farming. So this one doesn't pass some of the requirements. The top 3 requirements, payout, time, and availability, it doesn't pass all of them completely. But it is very flexible, and I will explain that in a moment. So this quest is given to you by lords, specifically lords that own towns. So you have to be a mercenary or a vassal of the same kingdom the lord is a part of. So pretty much, if you're part of the Khazaits, all the Khazait lords that own towns can give you this quest pretty much randomly. Doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be wartime. It could be peacetime, whatever time. If you just bump into one of them, they will probably give you this quest. It's very common pretty much throughout your time as a vassal or your time as a mercenary for any of the kingdoms. And so technically for availability, this does fail compared to the deliver the herd, which is very common. You can find a lot of it. This does unfortunately fail. Now, the quest is just you going to all the villages that are connected to a specific town and collecting taxes. So the taxes are collected in this tick feature. It's the same feature that raids use, where it's over time you will get gold each time, each second or whatever, whenever the tick hits. But what's it called? It doesn't take too long in my opinion. You could go to all, most towns have 3 villages. Some have 2, some have 4, but the standard is 3 that are connected to each town. To visit all 3 of these villages and to do the collecting of taxes literally takes about 5 minutes. So for time, it does pass. It's a little bit more than obviously deliver the herd, but again, it's a little bit better in terms of payout and flexibility, which I'm going to explain now, right? So in terms of payout, this is where it can be flexible, and why even though availability failed, the quest is still top 5. So when you're collecting taxes, the villagers will come up to you halfway through and ask you to stop collecting. You know, they can't afford it or whatever the reason is. They'll give you various reasons. Now, depending on what you choose, you can either get the max amount of gold. You can say, no, I still want to keep collecting. You can get a good amount of gold and reputation if you just start collecting a little bit less. And you can get the maximum reputation and a little bit of gold if you decide to just stop collecting altogether. You're going to get a lot of reputation for that village. Now, also, when you do this, the Lord will ask in the beginning a small upfront cost from the player. So whatever he expects to get from all these villages, he's going to ask of it from you. You're going to pay him, and then whatever you get on top of that, you will pretty much keep. Now, don't worry about whatever he asks. Usually the first town you go to, if you just go through it all the way and just take, you know, the max gold option, you will profit even sometimes twice the amount that you just paid that Lord. So in terms of profit, this quest is really good. You will get about 3,000, maybe sometimes even more, depending on what choices you choose. And you do get a very good amount of reputation, again, depending on what choices you choose. And if you choose to get the max reputation, this will increase your reputation with a lot of nobles. And if you continue doing this quest in similar regions, over time, this will heavily increase how much how much troops the villages will provide for you to recruit, and also over time possible supporters that will earn you influence. So I think for payout, it passes completely. So it's a little bit different. Again, it failed one of the criterias, but I think it is top 5 because of just how flexible it is, and the payout still pretty good, time still pretty good. Now, next one. So we're kind of getting into the, you know, the real good ones, the meat right here. So this one is train troops. So again, very common quest. You can get, in towns and villages by nobles. And I see it more of as a support quest. So this quest will give you 5 recruits and will ask you to train them by engaging in battle or whatever to just increase their XP to level each one of them up once. So this is a huge help early on in terms of bodies to fight in early fights. Obviously, it will beef up your army at no cost to you, you know, because when you take the quest, you don't have to actually pay for these recruits. Also, once they all level up, you don't have to actually go back to that town and give it back to that noble. It will just give you an option to send the troops back. And also, you do not even have to make sure all of them survive. You will get the full payout even if one survives. They will probably fix this a little bit later on. You know, if you're watching this like 2-3 years later, they're probably going to fix this. But you do not fail the quest. Only time you do fail the quest is if all of them do not survive. But to be honest with you, that is extremely, extremely rare. Now, the downfall to this quest is, I would say, is the time that it takes to complete. It's not a quest, but at the same time, it's not a quest that you have to really worry about. You know, as you go through the game, it gives you plenty of time to actually upgrade these troops to the point where you get them. Don't really worry about them. Just continue playing the game as you were to play it. And once they level up eventually, you're just going to get a cash out. Just like that. Very simple. And usually the cash out falls between 2,000 to 3,000, which I think is really good for something that you could passively do. Something that gives you an advantage in terms of number of troops. And again, very common to find. So I think it's really up there. Next one we have is Landowner Needs manual labors. So this one is very, very good because the payout can be very, very good. So again, this is another common quest. It's very easy to find in villages and towns by nobles. This quest requires you to bring back bandit prisoners. Also, you can bring back looters as well, but all the different types of bandits, if you imprison them, you can bring them back to him. You bring it back to him and he'll pay you 10 times the market price if you were to use the tavern in towns. So obviously, if you have prisoners, you didn't know that you can't do this. If you go to a town, if you go to the tavern, you can ransom off your prisoners and you will get gold in exchange for it. But if you take this quest right here, this person will offer you 10 times the market price. So the noble also accepts more than he asks for a bigger payout. So if he asks for 10, I think it's like, I don't think it's completely double, but I think it might be 10 more than what he asks for. So you can give him 20 and some stuff like that. It just works a little bit different as time goes on in the game, but you can always give more than he actually asks for. Now, and obviously, the more he accepts and also the higher tier the troops are, the better your payout. Remember that. Looters, not the best to give, but you can also give them if you're running out of time in the quest and need to complete it. But the one downfall of this quest is another noble might lose reputation with you for taking this quest because he might not see it as the right thing to do. It does happen sometimes, but not all the times. And to be honest with you, in terms of getting this massive payout and just a little bit of reputation loss from one noble, it's not even comparable. So in terms of availability, I think it passes. Payout is always good. I have gotten a couple thousand early game with just, some looters sprinkled in, some tier 2 bandits, some tier 3 bandits. I got a couple thousand. And then I've gotten literally on average 15 to 20,000 late game where I have a couple dozen tier 4, tier 3 bandits, and I turn in for this quest, and it is a huge payout. Literally 15 to 20,000 is great for a quest. Not many quests in the game actually reach that point, and I think that's why this quest is so high up there, because you really can get a very, very good payout. Now, in terms of time, you can really complete this as soon as you start it. So as you play the game, you will always have opportunities to take prisoners. So what you should do is after every bandit fight, especially if you see tier 3, tier 4 bandits, always take them as a prisoner. And once you see this quest, cash out on it. Very simple. You could always carry prisoners. You want to make sure you have enough troops so it doesn't slow your party down too much. Try not to go all the way towards your max prisoner amount, because that will slow down the party. But other than that, it's a very, very good quest. Very, very good payout. Now, with all that being said, we've gone over 4. Now I want to talk about my best quest that is, in my opinion, the best one out there. But this quest doesn't even have actually a good payout, technically. The noble who gives it to you doesn't actually pay you a lot after you finish it. But that's not where the money is. So the quest I'm talking about is Need Help with Brigands. This is the best quest, in my opinion, in the game. So again, payout not great, but let me explain. So this quest is a common quest that can be done in villages for nobles, and it requires you to clear out bandit parties roaming around the village. Very simple and can be done very quick, so in terms of time and availability, it passes. But its payout is lacking, especially the end payout. But I'm going to explain that a little bit more. Usually a little bit less than 1,000 after you complete it, not including the loot from the bandit parties and some reputation. Now, the reason it is the best, though, is it fuses with the other top 5 quests in perfect harmony. 2 of them, to be particular. This quest, once activated, spawns a lot of bandit parties, more and more over time. Also, these parties do not attack you. They do not swarm you, so you can pick and choose your fights very easily. Also, if you let some of the bandits escape after every fight that you do take, it will not count as you clearing out that bandit party because some escaped. So you didn't actually clear them out, they still escaped. So you can do this mission for as long as you want. Well, technically as long as the noble allows it. And once the deadline is close, completely take apart that whole bandit party and complete the mission for the payout. An easy way to actually finish the mission very quick if the deadline is coming up is get into a fight. Instead of actually going into the fight and fighting, just press send troops. This will automatically take out the whole party. Obviously some prisoners will come out of it, but no one will escape if you press send troops. And it will count towards a mark in terms of, if they want you to get rid of 2, 3, or 4 parties, whatever the number is. Now, why it matches good with the other top 5 is first, the Train Troops quest. This is a great way to level up the troops that you get from that quest, and also the troops provide you a good bonus in these bandit fights in terms of bodies to get in the way, especially if you have an archer build, or just even, you're just starting out the game and you don't have that many troops. Also, for the Landowner Needs Manual Labor's quest, you can pick and choose and collect very high-level bandits at a much quicker rate than random map encounters. So, since bandits continuously spawn, you can just sit in one place or roam around just the town, just you do a complete circle, and you can find, random parties. Sometimes you'll find, crazy amount of looters in a party, and you might want to take that fight, let some of them run away, and still get a huge payout of a couple hundred gold, just for that one fight. Very easy fight because they're looters. Or if you want to collect, bandit prisoners, you wait for, a good party of bandits, whether it's sea bandits, or sea raiders, forest bandits, mountain bandits, whatever you want to choose, and you can attack them. And again, let some of them escape, imprison some of them. If you want real good synergy, go to a town and buy a mace. It's a blunt weapon and it will knock them out instead of actually killing them and therefore making them a prisoner. So you can also do that as well. But this will let you pick up a ton of high-level bandits that later on, whenever you do find a manual laborer's quest, you can turn in right away. So great synergy in my opinion. So while the quest itself isn't the best payout, the possibilities and synergy make this quest #1 in my opinion in the books. It's great. It's a great quest that you can really pair up with other quests and really, in my opinion, provide a very good, it almost feels like, I want to say it feels like cheating, but it feels like you're kind of speed running, getting a lot of gold, especially early on in the game. So let me know what you guys think of this top 5. Which ones do you think should have made it in this video? Or which ones do you think shouldn't have made it? What's your experiences? Let me know. Also, I'm going to be making a worst guide as well. My top 5 worst quests. So stay tuned. And also, check out that playlist, man. Top guides, man. Hey, listen, I'm putting in a lot of work. Hopefully, you guys can see all the work I'm putting in. And, yeah, some big things to come. I don't want to spoil anything, but I have a really good idea that's in the works, and I want to spoil it. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I think a lot of you guys will enjoy it. So stay tuned, and like always, stay safe.